Well, this is going to be the first take two in the Port Huron Statement's history. I should adjust the lighting, but I gotta go. All right, so the topic of today also inspired my idea for the day. We'll go into that. But so the first thing I want to mention is, the Tigers have gone on an outstanding run, and the Tigers do represent a valuable piece of local culture, especially this team. I don't know if you're aware, but Bally Sports has, Bally Sports, which really is, it's a naming rights thing, kind of like Comerica Park. So Bally doesn't own Bally Sports. Bally Sports is really a shell DBA, doing business as, for Diamond Media. Diamond Media is what's become insolvent, but it's weird because really Detroit, the sports broadcasts in Detroit are highly profitable versus the investment costs. So if you were to carve out just the Detroit broadcasts, you would have a highly profitable entity. Now, that very well may not happen, and we may end up getting like MLB Network that's ultimately doing the broadcast for Detroit, and that would result in a very, very significant reduction in the quality of production and the, human quality. Maybe Benetti stays, maybe he doesn't, but a lot of the other supporting cast will certainly go, and we'll lose a lot in terms of the local cultural value of the Tigers. My proposition is that through crowdfunding we could enable an employee-owned structure relatively inexpensively. It should be in a relatively low single millions to acquire that broadcast apparatus, and it would be profitable immediately. It would be a return on investment in a year, roughly, and that's supported by financials. And with this playoff run, it would be very easy to see it being an outstanding investment, and because it's not going to cost that much money, I believe it is possible to crowdfund, or to find a mixture of investors and crowdfunding, or to motivate the players, frankly. I mean, they will benefit greatly from superior broadcast. We all benefit greatly from superior broadcast. And I think specifically the Bally Sports Detroit broadcast for the Tigers is a very, very valuable broadcast. And I think the Red Wings broadcast is a very valuable broadcast. I love Ken Daniels. I love Mickey Redmond. I love Benetti. I love Peaches Petri. I think they're just doing an outstanding job. Beyond that, though, I think that. Oh, well, yeah. I'm motivated by this because a lot of the motivation that came for me to produce this, I was in no small way inspired by the Tigers' run. Not only does it prove the very core concepts that I'm trying to illuminate or describe or define in this project here, but also, it was like confirmational to me because I very specifically asked the heavens to confirm my calling in this, and via the Tigers. And it's been that was the beginning of August. It was not looking good. It seemed like a 1 in 1,000, and it really kind of was. All right, so really the diamond thing too is an example of the greater corporate failure. I mean, you have a profitable entity in the Bally Sports Detroit broadcast, and yet it's probably going to disappear as it currently exists, not for any other reason than a failure of leadership that has been elevated because and thanks to the corporate structure, and is only really operating to benefit themselves. Like, ultimately, this failure is more a failure of the corporate structure than it is of Bally Sports Detroit, aka Diamond. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on here, but the fact is the sports are wildly profitable, and the reason Diamond is suddenly bankrupt has to do with accounting and nuanced manipulations in our economies, our tax structures, and the entities, the LLCs and these other corporate entities, how they manipulate their debt and their profit, account for things with the IRS and what they're, oh my gosh, I'm going way too far into this. The point is that we shouldn't let this happen. We shouldn't let quality of our sports culture be diminished because of the ineptitude of the individuals at Diamond and the inefficacy of the greater corporate structure in realizing their explicit goals. I mean, the fact is the structure itself it lends itself to bootlickers. There's just a bunch of bootlickers everywhere, and it becomes top heavy because these people just a bootlick and no one actually is solving any problems Anyway, and then in my opinion, using a GoFundMe to allow the employees that currently run the broadcast to own it, it would be very possible and profitable. And again, I'm going to go down and try and promote this broadcast for the first time. I hope it goes well. I'm going to document that. We're going to use that as adjunct bonus material, I think. I'm trying to give out about 300 little flyers that I just made on the fly just now. I just came up with this idea to go down to Detroit and just use the buzz down there to try and raise awareness of this project.